People think an operation is coming, including me, but why is that even important? Well, for the last two operations, the prices have dipped with the operation, which means if you can predict when it gets released, that you could sell before and buy back later. You could also just wait to buy in for the epic discount on most items, but with the month of December starting now, it seems like Valve are not really too concerned with the operation coming out before Christmas. It could still come out somewhere in the next little while, but it also might not. We have to realize that that is an option. With that, I want to talk about why you should not be waiting for the next operation to buy into the game or items. But before we get into the video, check out how to get 10 euros for free with today's video sponsor GamerPay. GamerPay is the easiest and safest way to buy and sell skins. They have a huge range of items to choose from and their prices are way cheaper than the Steam community market. If you sign up with my link in the description and buy or sell something worth 35 euros or more, you get 10 euros completely for free. I like sorting their items for best deals, so I can find items that are even cheaper than on Buff. They have very low fees and they are trusted by the community. Overall, an awesome way to buy and sell skins. Check them out with my link in the description or top comment. First off, we can't know what Valve will do in this game. We just can't. They are unpredictable. They don't tell us what they do. Updates usually aren't announced before we get them, and they are also not scheduled or regular like some other games have, like a yearly update or something. No, CSGO is just entirely random. If they don't want to give us an operation for 2 years straight, they can, and they will. And they have done this before actually. After the end of the Operation Hydra, they waited more than 2 full years before releasing Operation Shattered Web. It is after all their game, and there are reasons for Valve to not release an operation. It makes all the old items less common, and it gives people more time to use up all the older items more. That means less supply, which makes all the items better investments long term. Right now, there is a lot of people scared of a big oversupply of skins and stickers in CSGO due to the mass release of new operations every year. Also, the big amount of majors and major stickers has an influence on this, so people are quite scared that there's too many items, so not getting as many items would actually be good for trust in the market. It would at least be a surprise to see this from Valve, but it could be that they're trying to keep the market as healthy as possible instead of going for the quick cash grab, even though that seems entirely unfeasible from Valve. Secondly, we have to take into account the fact that the dip that people are predicting might not happen at all. This dip happened with the last operation because it had never been seen like this before. People weren't expecting it, but I bet you there are a bunch of people with Steam balance ready right now to buy into the dip once it comes. If loads of people buy in during the expected dip, that same dip might just become a lot less deep. If enough people prepare to invest with the dip, it might not happen at all. On top of that, this is not a market dip, it's a FOMO dip and it's very temporary. Last operation it only lasted a couple of weeks, after which prices went back to normal. But this time, the dip that could already be less deep could also just last for 1 week or even less. If enough people want to get that easy profit, that might just be the case. And at this point, almost any person who is somewhat into CSGO skins will know about this dip happening, since it was featured in multiple videos of Jesus and also other big YouTubers covered it. Thirdly, selling now and waiting for this elusive operation dip is quite risky. If you, for example, have to wait another 6 months or more for it, and it only dips around 20% for most items, which is still quite deep, you only make around 5% off of that trade, since you sell on Steam, which cost you 15% in fees. In some other markets, 5% profit in 6 months might sound really good, but in the CSGO market it's not really that good at all. We have a very high risk but also very high reward market. Every year you can make an easy 30 or 40%. And selling now and buying in back later means your profit is essentially capped. Like, the market won't dip more than 30%, so your profit is already capped at around 15%. Simply holding items does not cap your possible profit, because items can grow as much as they want to. They don't have to stop somewhere, but items declining in price do have to stop somewhere. If you want to circumvent the 15% fees, you could still do it on a different site, but since those sites don't usually sell the operation passes at the beginning, the dip there will also be less deep, so even though you're taking less of a fee, you're also getting a less deep dip, which is your profit. It is definitely a good idea to have some amount of money ready to buy something when the operation drops, like the operation pass, but also like something that dips a lot. But I wouldn't bet my entire inventory or portfolio on this. Plus, what is 5% over 6 months really in the CSGO market? That's really almost nothing. That now nicely brings me on to my last point, the current price trends in the CSGO market. Items go up a lot, nearly every year. If you want to wait to invest, it is very easy to lose out on a lot of that profit. If we look at the breakout case for example, we see that in the last 6 months, this case has gone from 2.24 euros to 3.24 euros, which is a 44.6% increase in just 6 months. And the breakout case is an investment that has been reliable for years on end, and we have known that this is a great investment for a while. If you can find a better item that has more to grow and that is not as well known for good profit yet, you can make even more profit. The point is, there is very little reason to buy into the next operation right now. Once it drops, it will most likely dip the market a bit, so buying in more into the market might be a good idea at that point, but if you already are invested into CSGO and you would have to sell stuff to do that, I would not recommend you do that right now. You would probably just be better off keeping your items and just waiting the operation dip through, so your investments can keep going up in the meantime. They don't last that long anyway, and you don't have to wait and sit there for them to go back up. You can play the operation in the meantime. This is also a very good way to deal with the situation if you're sad that there's no operation yet, since you've turned this situation into a win now. If this operation comes, you have the operation, which everyone wants at this point, so you're happy. You can wait for the dip to end, and you have no loss in your items, and you also have the operation in the meantime. If the operation doesn't come in the next little while, that means no new supply, which is good for all existing investments. It means profit for you, so that's also a big win. Instead of choosing to sell now and going all in on an operation coming, it's probably better to just do it 50-50 and turn the thing that you can't control, which is Valve posting an operation, into a win-win situation for you. In short, keeping your investments instead of selling them right now means either you're happy about a new operation or you're happy about your existing items going up in price. Of course, there is the small chance of Valve posting the operation somewhere this month, and that might mean a decent temporary dip, but that risk is for you to assess. I'm not selling any of my skins or investments anytime soon. The market is just way too reliable for me right now. If you want to go for the small risk, you can alternatively go for that as well, and please let me know in the comments what you guys think of this and what you're gonna do. I really want to know your thoughts on all of this, because a bit of time ago a significant portion of you guys said in a poll that I posted that you were waiting for the next operation to come to buy back in. A surprising amount of people also said what is CSGO, which either means I have a lot of trolls in my audience, or that poll was legitimately sent to that many people who had no idea what CSGO was, which just makes me question everything. But it's probably just a bunch of people who are trolling. But why does Valve even care about keeping the market healthy or making sure that items go up long term? Wouldn't it make more sense for them to release more items which makes them much more money, even if that means less profit for investors and players? Well, no, it doesn't work like that at all. In this video I explain why that is, along with a lot more valuable information about the way Valve makes certain decisions, which is seeming very important right now. If you want to trade some items for low fees or need anything else, you can hit me up via Steam or Twitter. Links are in the description. If you're still watching, you are truly awesome. Thank you, goodbye.